Hello and welcome to a special vloggy episode of the Stash Down Diaries. If you're new here, hi. My name is Jen and I'm a knitter. And today is time for a cast-on party. I did the one a few weeks ago and in it there was a couple of Christmas gift knits and birthday gift knits. I think there was one Christmas and like 2 birthday. But anyway, those are done. And it is time to cast on the rest of the Christmas gift knits. So I thought it'd be fun to get them. I'm not a big fan of casting on, so I thought I'd get it all done in one day, all the casting on, and then it's just smooth sailing. So what I do, one of my favorite ways to spend a weekend, especially a rainy day like this one, is to alternate knitting with chores. So then by the end of the day, I've like accomplished quite a lot. So I will sit down and knit and watch an episode of something or a movie or a couple of shorter episodes of or YouTube videos or something, however long I want to spend knitting, but I try not to spend more than 2 hours. And then I will listen to an episode of a podcast and clean for the length of that podcast. So that is what I'm going to do today. But before each knitting section, I'm going to go upstairs to the yarn room and we are going to look at my improvised chalkboard. It is the inside of the door of the closet in my yarn room that I painted with chalk paint like a number of years ago. And I actually have to clean it off before we start because my Socktober list from 2023 is still on there. So I'm going to knit or cast on the projects in the order that I have to have them completed. And yeah, I got my favorite Christmas mug out to set the mood. A Christmas Story is my second favorite Christmas movie after Muppet Christmas Carol. I think my third favorite is probably Home Alone. I used to really not like that movie when I was younger, but it's really grown on me. So anyway, I got my tea. We're going to go upstairs. I'm going to talk about the first project I'm going to cast on, and I'm going to get the needles and the yarn and the project bag for it. So away we go. Pardon the mess of my yarn room. It is on the docket to be cleaned this weekend, but this is what I was up to 2 years ago. That's my Socktober list. And then I thought I was going to keep up my stash down goals at the top, but if you've been watching me for a while, I did not accomplish any of these things, I think, in the last couple of years. Oh, I emptied the purple basket, so that's something. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off. Just the usual warning that there is going to be ambient noise because I do have 3 pets who like to follow me around the house whenever I'm doing anything. So I got the board cleaned off and my gift knit list started. This first one is not really a Christmas gift. My mother asked me for a red scarf to wear before Christmas. So when mother asks, mother gets. If you are related to me and you usually get knits gifted to you at Christmas time and you don't want to be spoiled, this might not be a good video to watch. So just saying, I know sometimes my family watches my videos. So Mom's red scarf, I picked out yarn from Stash. This is Barocco Ultra Alpaca that has been in my stash since, it was either 2012 or 2013. I think it was 2013, but that does make it Elder Stash. That's not why I picked it though. It was picked because, well, it's red and it's alpaca. If I didn't have a nice fiber of red yarn in my stash, I would have went shopping, but this one is perfect. So the pattern that I chose is a Stay Toasty scarf by Veronica Lindberg. She had her patterns on sale not too long ago and I saw that one. Ooh, ring light. So that is it. It is one of those smaller tapered scarves that are very popular right now, and they're popular for good reason because they're great to wear. I make one for myself. I made one for my mom already. I made her the Sophie. And I made one, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's by Helen Stewart from her last year's knit vent. So yeah, they're excellent little scarves because they can tuck under your coat. They're not too bulky. But anyway, so that is the project that I'm going to cast on first. I need size, I think, yeah, 3.5 millimeters US 4. So I'm going to dig those up, and I have the perfect project bag right here that hasn't been put away yet because I knew I was going to be using it. I didn't think I was going to use it for this project, but I think it's perfect if it's a one skein project. It's a little bigger than a sock bag. So this was sent to me by a lovely viewer by the name of Denise, and I absolutely love it. So that will be its project bag, and then I'm just going to pick up the needles and I'll head back downstairs. I think before I settle down into the first round of knitting, I am going to go check my mail because I've been very neglectful of checking the mail, and the post office closes at noon on Saturdays. And I'm gonna drive because A, it's quicker, B, it's raining, and C, I think I'm gonna go to the co-op too and get snackies. But also, if I get my cat's 2 bags of cat treats this week, I get bonus seed points, so. And we're getting low on the cat treats, and if I run out, I'll be in big trouble. So I'm gonna scoot and do that, and then I'm gonna settle into knit. All right, now that I'm home and I am back in my pajama pants, would you like to see what I picked up at the post office that I actually kept, because there were like flyers and things there that you can chuck in the recycle bin there. My package from the UK came. I ordered this from Amazon, but it came from the Quilted Bear in the UK, and my main thing I was trying to get was color catchers because I have a pair of colorwork socks that I really don't want to bleed when I block them. So I ordered some of these, and because I don't like to just order one thing, I got an extra pair of 2.25 millimeter needles for more socks. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but there will be more socks cast on in this video, quite a few actually. This is what I got that I, promotional materials that I did not throw away. The Lego catalog, the Mary Maxim catalog, the April Cornell catalog, and finally, my favorite, the Flying Kites lookbook for this year. The Flying Kite is a business where I live in the same village, and they sell like mostly artisan stuff, like stuff that is made like in Atlantic Canada, and books from authors in Atlantic Canada. Really, really great stuff. Lichen and Lace is in here somewhere because I did already look at, I already looked at the one online because they posted. Yeah, so there's their mini skein set for Christmas. But their other yarn, they're doing a promotion 2 for $50. Yeah, so it's right there. But if you're ever in the area, I love this shop. So that was my mail. And then I picked up snacks. So what am I going to watch on YouTube first? I am behind on Nitty Natty, and I didn't watch Therapy by Crafts blanket video yet, or Nitty Natty's blanket video. I'm behind on Cozy Books and Knits. So I think what I will start with, I think I'll start with the 2 blanket videos, Nitty Natty's and Therapy by Crafts. If you have not watched Eunice, whose channel is Therapy by Crafts, or Therapy by Craft, I can't remember if there's an S. She is delightful. one of my favorite videos of hers is where it was a recent October video where she's talking about how she kind of like zhuzhes up vanilla socks, because she is very much a vanilla sock knitter, and like the things that she does to just play with color, basically. So yeah, if you have not seen her, you should watch her. And joy to the world, my ChiaoGoo 3.5 millimeter knitting needles are free, so I can cast on with these ones. So that is what I'm going to do in a moment. So I'll do Nitty Natty and then Eunice, and we'll see how much of this I get done. I still have to download the pattern. So time does not start until I'm actually casting on. So the video starts, I cast on. And I don't want to lose any of my precious knitting time to cleaning time. So, oh, and no, I did not buy yarn at the grocery store. I showed it, I did not buy any. If there's anything that is abundant in my stash, it is Briggs & Little. So anyway, moving on, let's get going with this. Okay, so I just finished watching Nitty Natty and her blanket video. It's time for a stretch and bathroom and snack break, but I wanted to show you first. This is how far I got. I stuck the little candy cane stitch marker or progress keeper in there so that I'll know which side is the right side. So when I put it down, but this pattern is delightful. I don't know if you could see how it's working up. When I'm in better lighting, on a regular video, you'll be able to see that. But yeah, so I've been debating whether to cast on the next project for the next video that I'm gonna watch, but I think I'll keep going with this, and then after that video I will do a bunch of cleaning because as much as I would like to spend the entire day knitting, I can't do that. I need to have some discipline here. So anyway, I'm going to stretch and get myself an apple, and yeah, my other snacks are saved for later. That's for movie time later on. So anyway, away I go. Controversial opinion that is probably going to make me lose some viewers, but Sweet Tango is better than Honeycrisp. Don't come for me. It's my opinion, but it's the right one. The timing of that video was actually perfect. I just finished a repeat while she was finishing up. So yeah, that won't be confusing for me. So I can start right at the beginning of the repeat. So this is what is done for this one for today. Really enjoying this pattern. I think it's gonna come out like nice and drapey. I think I forgot to mention that this pattern is actually written for a DK weight, and I am using a worsted. It is kind of a lighter worsted, but still. So it is going to be a little bit more dense than the pattern calls for, but that's okay. It's a scarf, so gauge doesn't matter as much. Unfortunately, it is time for me to do a cleaning round. So I thought about having lunch first, but I'm not super hungry yet, and I've already been kind of slow to start the cleaning part, and there are things that need to be cleaned that are driving me nuts. I have a basket of laundry right over there in my living room that needs to be put away since last weekend. So I need to get to those things. So I'm gonna pick at some of the little chores for this round and then I usually start at the mudroom and then work my way into the house. So yeah, I won't be showing any of that cleaning footage because my home is kind of my safe space. Well, not kind of, it is my safe space. So I'm apprehensive to bring the, whole internet into it. I don't mind the living room and the yarn room, but we'll just leave most of it out. So anyway, I'm gonna clean. The next time you see me, we will be back to the yarn room to list another project to knit. Oh, and for my cleaning break, I will be listening to the Crime Weekly podcast. I intentionally saved some episodes for this weekend, so I would have something to clean too. Crime Weekly is probably, it's like, if it's not my favorite, then it's up there. I really like Buried Bones too, because in Crime Weekly, it's Derek Levasseur and Stephanie Harlow, and they're very empathetic with the victims and everything. Sometimes you listen to true crime or watch true crime on YouTube and the host is very not empathetic. It's like entertainment, but with this one, they're very respectful. Sometimes they will interview victims' families. Sometimes they will interview the convicted person's family, and like they are open to debating things and stuff. And Stephanie's a really great researcher for the podcast, and Derek is a detective, so the kind of aspect or whatever, the perspective that he brings to it is really great. So you get like that kind of investigative viewpoint. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be listening to for actually all 3 of my breaks for cleaning. It's cleaning a break? No. All right, so I'm going to get to it because the sooner I do my cleaning break, the sooner I can get back to my knitting. All right, friends, we're back at it. The downstairs bathroom and mudroom got decent going over, and I did dishes. I just had enough time at the end of the podcast to put laundry away. The garbage is taken care of. I'm feeling pretty accomplished. So I didn't bring the tripod upstairs because, and also I hope you enjoyed the footage of Ginny following me pretty much everywhere. She's even here right now in her kitty condo. So yeah, she could be a little bit of a nuisance when you're cleaning, but I love her anyway. So the next pattern is going to be the Bookbinder socks, which is a pattern by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. I have not yet knit one of the patterns from this year's, I can't remember. Ooh, what did she call it? I can't remember. It's sock every 2 months, I think, for the year. So they've all been released. And I think it's 6 patterns. And I haven't knit one of them for this year yet. So I'm going to start with the Bookbinder socks. And then the yarn, Piper is here now too, is right here. That's Super Teddy. The yarn is in here. This basket is all of my oldest sock yarns in my stash. So I did decide to grab one from here. I've course, it's tucked on the bottom. This is Lorna's Laces. It's been in my stash a really long time. The colorway is Manzanita. I don't know if that even matters because I don't think Lorna's Laces is in business anymore. It's not focusing. But yeah, I decided to go with this one. It's Lorna's Laces Soulmate. So I just need a 2.25 millimeter needle, which is downstairs on the shelf. Because as I was finishing socks, I stashed them on the bookcase, knowing that I would need them for casting on a bunch more socks. And I need a project bag. So I will pick out a project bag and then I will see you downstairs. All right, so here we are again. I, as I said, am going to cast on the Bookbinder socks. This is what they look like. Oh, there we go. You can see the top there with the little bit of cabling. And they're a little bit ribbed. I don't know which side is best to put this. Oh, look. There, you can kind of see them a bit better there. So those are the Bookbinder socks by Helen Stewart. I picked this project bag, which is Downton Abbey themed. I thought it was kind of appropriate for the yarn color, maybe. It's very Downton Abbey-ish. And I put it in a yarn cozy because I'm going to pull from the center. And then I got my needles, my Hiya Sharps, which I think they've seen better days. They're not perfectly straight anymore, but you know, I still love them. They're like one of my favorite needles. What else? Oh yes, who am I going to watch? So I'm going to watch Stitches and Starlight, who is Tashi. If you have not watched them, they are like one of the funnest people to watch, in my opinion. Very enjoyable, very talented at knitting and spinning, all the things. And they don't post like super consistently. So when something comes up, it is very exciting for me. And they just posted a stash organization yarn tour. But it's in 2 parts. And I think I'm going to watch just the 1 part for now and 1 part next cast on, because I think they're like an hour long each. I was just looking. Yeah, so one is 1 hour and 21 minutes, and then one is just over an hour. So I think what I'll do is for the second one, I'll add another like shorter video to it maybe. But I don't want to take away too much cleaning time because I feel very successful when I actually clean. If you notice, when I was like trying to film Ginny following me around, I'm trying to like keep her in a frame where you can't see too much like mess. And it's really hard. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, here comes baby elephant. I call Maisie baby elephant because when she walks, she puts all her weight forward. So she like stomps with her front paws, which is really funny for a cat. But anyway, her and Piper were really quiet while I was cleaning. Okay, I have to stop babbling on and get into it because it's already 20 after 2 and it's pretty dark. Like it's a dark, gloomy day and I feel like it's later, so I'm worried that I'm gonna run out of steam. Although I have all day tomorrow too, so this is gonna go into tomorrow. All right, I'm going to get into it. And in the blink of an eye, we are back. So, I have to say I really love Tashi's color selection. They are mostly warm colors that I cannot wear, but I do certainly love looking at them as they're very like jewel toned, and some of them have like, you know, a bit of rust. Piper is having a good scratch right now, so that's what you can hear. So anyway, I got the cuff done and I just started, I think I got about 5 rows of the leg done so far, so it doesn't look like much yet, but it will. So it is time for me to switch gears back to cleaning. I looked at the next episode of Crime Weekly, and I think it was an hour and 20 something or an hour and 30 something. So I might have supper while listening to it as well. I am starting to run out of steam. It is now 4 o'clock. It is time to feed the girlies. Just about. They usually eat at 4:30 when I come home from work. So the plan is I'll do one more round of cleaning, and then I want to do one more cast on for the day, I think. And then after that, I am going to knit on something that I've been trying to get off the needles this evening, hopefully. And probably watch Return of the King, because I watched The Fellowship of the Ring 2 days ago and then The Two Towers yesterday. So the natural progression is to watch Return of the King today. So there that is. So yeah, one cleaning sprint, and then I'll do one more cast on while watching Tashi's part 2 of her fiber organization, and then I will be done with that for today, and I will start up again tomorrow. So I will see you in like 2 seconds. Okay, I ran out of steam pretty quickly on that last cleaning session. I puttered around the kitchen and cleaned the microwave and swept the dining room and wiped down counters and tidied some things, cleaned around my plants, and then I fed the animals and fed myself, and that is where it just stopped. So, but I feel really good about the amount that I got done today. So the final cast on for today will be socks for my sister-in-law, and they're going to be the morning coffee socks. And look, there's Ginny. So we're back to my basket of oldest sock yarn, and it is this one. This has been in my stash. It's focusing on Super Teddy. This has been in my stash since 2015. It is Miss Babs Hot Shot in the colorway Irises. It's about time that I knitted this one up. And I already got a yarn cozy, even though this is kind of a mess, so it'll be interesting trying to knit from the center. I'll see what I can do though. And the bag. So we'll go downstairs and I will show you the pattern. All right, last cast on for this evening. And as I said, it is the Morning Coffee Socks by Kayla Litton. It is dark outside now, so I have no light whatsoever. But, you know, I didn't turn the ring light on this time, so you can see the sock a little better. I tried to recake the yarn. This is one of those, so Piper, my dog, likes to, or at least she used to, she hasn't done it lately, she puts the cake between her 2 front paws and then pulls out the middle of it. So this is the middle of it. She tried to pull out, I must have caught her or something with it. But yeah, so I caked this much of it and it still doesn't look great, but it'll be fine. It's encased, it's protected, it'll be fine. And then I will hand wind this at some point, but anyway, so I was going to watch the second half of Tashi, or her part 2 video, but I saw that Yana posted a video today of finished knitting stories, and that video is a little bit shorter. I'm concerned I might be getting too late for Lord of the Rings Return of the King, and also working on the socks that I really want to finish. So I think I'm going to go with finished knitting stories for the last video and the last cast on the evening, and I will catch up with you in like, will be like 2 seconds to you, and I'll show you what I managed to accomplish, and then I will close out for the evening, but you won't notice because I'll just be popping back on in the morning. So away I go with the final cast on of Saturday evening. right. Did you see Yana's scarf? It's so beautiful. She always knits the most beautiful things. So this is how much I got done. So that was about a 48-minute long episode. And yeah, so this, you can't tell, but this is a really, really pretty purple, and it just like, it's knitting up so nice. I don't know if it's going to pull after, but so far it's not really. Yeah, it's not showing. It's really like brightening that color. It's a lot darker. I don't know if you can see it. Nah, I'm not even going to try it. I'll try it on like an actual episode where I have better lighting. So that concludes this evening. I think what I'm going to do in the morning tomorrow is do some cleaning before I start. I think I'll just put some music on, and I want to mop the floors and clean the dishpan, and then I'll get started on the knitting part. So yeah, I don't think I have enough time for Lord of the Rings tonight. I will save it for tomorrow because it is just about 7 o'clock and I am so tired. I'm like, why am I so tired? And it's like, oh, my brain still thinks that it's actually 8 o'clock. So Piper is just snoring away here. I don't know if you can hear her. Oh, there she is. So I think what I'm going to do for the project that I'm trying to finish, I will watch like a couple of YouTube videos or something. I might I might edit this a little bit tonight too, because I have so many segments of videos to put together. I might do myself a favor and start that, but I don't want to be up too late. I want to go to bed in time to read. So if you want to know what I'm reading, it is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And it is a middle grade book. I am very much of the mind with my reading that I will read anything if it is a good story and nicely written. And this is a really good story. I am really enjoying this. This got recommended by Emmy Reeds, who is one of my favorite people on YouTube who talk about books, or booktubers. So I'm reading this. I am definitely in the mood right now for fluffy fantasy. So yeah, this is just super enjoyable, and it's going fairly fast because, you know, it's middle grade, so there's nothing in here that I have to kind of sit with. It's fairly fast paced, but yeah, so that is what I'm reading. So I will see you in like 5 seconds, and it'll be Sunday morning. Good morning. It is almost 10 o'clock. I did sleep in today, but, well, sort of. So what happened was Piper sometimes wakes me up with her scratching, and she did that this morning at like 5 o'clock. So I was awake and couldn't get back to sleep. So I edited yesterday's footage in bed. So I did accomplish something already today. And then I read a bit before I nodded off, and I didn't set an alarm because I figured whatever sleep my body needs, my body's gonna get. So, because it's Sunday. So I have my breakfast smoothie. That is what I have for breakfast every day. And it is not gonna rain today, I don't think, so I'll be able to take her ladyship for a WALK, because I don't know if you know this, but she's made of sugar, so she cannot WALK in the rain. Everybody's fed. I'm ready to get moving. So this is the plan for today. And I have a lot to do, and I don't want to try to push myself to try to cram in too much. I think I'm going to shorten the intervals maybe. I don't have a whole lot of cleaning that I really am dying to get done today. I'm gonna start the day with cleaning. So I'm gonna mop the floors and clean the dishpan. And then I'll do a knitting interval. Oh, Piper's here for a butt scratch, okay. And then the main things I wanna get done today are the upstairs bathroom and the front entry and the stairwell. I will actually show you the stairwell when I go to do it because I have this horrible habit of putting things on the stairs to take upstairs, and then they just sit there. So that is all going to get cleaned up. The stairs are going to get vacuumed. And yeah, and I have at least 3 things to cast on. But also, I want to be done in time to watch Lord of the Rings and work on the socks that I'm really hoping to finish tonight. I will show it to you. It is this one. I'm really close to finishing, so I want to finish those because I'm seeing my friend on Tuesday and they are her socks. So anyway, all right. Yeah, so I'm going to shorten the intervals a little bit, watch shorter videos, and maybe I can get the cleaning I want done in one. I'm not including the mopping one, but I'm gonna put Florence and the Machine's new album on and listen to it while I clean on the first one. And then when I'm done, I'm done. And then we'll do a cast on, and then I'll do an episode of Crime Weekly for the next cleaning sprint, and I'll do whatever I can, and then I'll do another cast on, and then I'll do a smaller cleaning sprint, or maybe that might be one night. No, I gotta squeeze the dog walk in there. Okay, I'll figure it out as I go. Okay, you're with me for the ride, and I will figure it out as I go. So here I go. All right, here we go again. I got my least favorite jobs finished, so it's time to knit. And I have some ambient barking noise because there is a teacup Yorkie in the neighborhood who barks as it walks. Doesn't matter if anything is around it, it just walks and barks. So Piper likes to bark back, and then the dog next door is also barking back, and I can't say I blame them. Anyway. The next on the list is my middle niece's Muscleborough, and I'm going to show you the yarn. I think it's over here. Yeah, my yarn room's a mess. We talked about that yesterday briefly, but I am going to get to it eventually. Here is the yarn, and I've had this in stash for a while. It is Ginger Snap yarns, and it is from a special collaboration that a bunch of makers did with Countess Ablaze, and it was, if I want exposure, I would let my tits out. So this one I think is called Here Kitty Titty or something like that. It is not a colorway that they still do, but just look at this color that they produced. Like, it's pretty amazing. I am not using it for socks because I can't remember if it doesn't have nylon or if it's not superwash. If I'm gifting socks, it has to have nylon in it, and it has to be superwash so they can throw them in the washer. But there's something about this yarn that is missing that I can't knit socks out of it. So Muscleborough it is. And I got my needle right there. My Hayas are available. Always makes me happy. And then I will pick out a... Why am I talking so slow? I'm going to pick out a project bag, and I will be back downstairs. So I'm sure most of you have heard of the Muscleborough. I've knit it, I think, at least 3 times so far. It is the Muscleborough by Isolde Teague. Really excellent functional hat. It is a great comfort knit because you're just knitting in a circle. You can take it anywhere and still pay attention to what's going on around you, or you can watch a movie while knitting it. But anyway, so that is what I'm going to cast on. I want to give it a little bit of time. I was already looking at different YouTube videos. There are some new posts this morning. Then there's some that were posted the other day that I didn't see. So like there's some from Knit Zip Happy. Cozy Books and Knits has another one out, and I think I'm already a little bit behind on her, but I am going to start with Tashi's part 2 of their fiber stash organization and tour, because that one is just over an hour. It's an hour and 3 minutes, and it's the longest one, and I am going to give this a little extra time. So that will probably be my longest knitting sprint for the day. So yeah, that is the plan, and I will see you momentarily. I forgot to show the project bag. I went with this one. I took a pending project out of it that I might not even be knitting now, and we'll be using it for this one. This one is from So Sandy So. She is a local maker. This is a sort of recent purchase, especially compared to my other project bags, which some I've had for over a decade. But she is from Nova Scotia. Excellent maker. Clearly picks out wonderful prints. I have a couple of her DPN holders for my blankets. So yeah, I love her stuff. So that is the project bag. Okay, so you need to see this. Look how pretty. It reminds me of Gem and the Holograms. So I did not do a disappearing loop cast on this time. In my previous ones I did, but then I was like reading other people's experiences knitting this, and they've all said it's fine if you just do a regular long tail cast on and then seam it. And I mean, that's not a whole lot to seam in. And then you can fold the hat so that this part is on the inside, and the part where you cinch the hat closed at the end will be on the outside. So yeah, I just saved myself the time of having to look up the disappearing loop cast on, and just did a regular cast on, and I left a generous amount to seam it up. So like, look, I can't get over that. That is so pretty. So I'm all done for that round, and the dog was down here and she was a little restless. So I think what I'm going to do, but she went upstairs, most likely to the yarn room. So what I'm going to do is start putting the dining room slash cat room back together, putting the chairs back in and stuff, putting the cat's toys back down on the floor. And I might take out the Christmas tablecloth actually too. Yeah, I might do that table up for Christmas now. I might do my coffee table later when I tidy up the living room. But anyway, yeah, so, but if she comes downstairs, because she had been restless, if she comes down, I will take her for a WALK. I'm still spelling it in case she can hear me, because she's got, have you seen her ears? They're like, so anyway, I'm not making fun of her. I'm just stating a fact that she can listen. She can hear things. So she has the cutest ears in all the land. Yeah, so I'm going to pick at that stuff, and then if she seems restless, I will take her OUT. But it's also lunchtime, so I might do that first. Well, I'll pick at stuff, and then I'll make myself some lunch, and then see what happens. Okay, and break. Speaking of the Muscleborough, this is mine in Timber Yarns. The colorway, I think, is Silver Bells. Love this one. And I got my flax on because it's like 6 degrees and this is keeping me warm. So yeah, Piper's crying, so I guess I better keep walking. If you remember my pumpkin plant from the last vlog that I did, cast on vlog, it did produce one sad little pumpkin. But now that I know pumpkins are so easy to grow, I'm probably gonna plant them next year in a better spot. All right, so as you saw, I ended up taking her ladyship for a little jaunt. I picked out some cleaning, but I still have about half an episode of Crime Weekly left. So I'm going to listen to that after this next round. This is going to be probably a shorter round. I think Breathing Yarn has a new video too. I'll go downstairs and I'll figure out what I'm going to watch and I'll let you know. So the next one is for littlest niece, and I'm just going to do vanilla socks because the yarn is going to speak for itself. So this is the yarn. This has been in my stash a really long time. I would say 2015 maybe. So this yarn is kind of special to me. I used it in my chicken so that, you know, I have it long term. But this is Cyborg's Craft Room. It was dyed by a young woman by the name of Megan Black. She passed away a number of years ago, and I was kind of hoarding the yarn in my stash. I think this colorway is called Space Princess. I made a little one skein shawl out of another skein that I had. But just her talent in dyeing, like she was able to do variegated yarns that did not pool like at all, and just the colors just mix so well. And this one has a little bit of bling in it. I don't know if you can see the stellina on camera, but very suitable to littlest niece. And yeah, I'm just going to do vanilla socks for this one. And I'm just going to grab a project bag and head down. All right. So I'm going with my Lorax bag, my little sock sack. It's by Studio in the Green. I don't know if they're still making bags, but I love this one because it has a little center pocket in it that you can put notions in. But anyway, so, and then I got my one pair of my Knit Pro Zings. So they're not my favorite, but they're okay. Hi-Hi's and Chowgas are my favorite. So I decided to go with Cozy Books and Knits because I am behind. I still have her regular podcast episode and one that she posted 7 hours ago, which I think, yeah, how long does it take to knit your socks? Which is very interesting. I would like to know that because people always ask me, and I used to have it timed. I think I had like 15 hours per sock for fingering weight or something like that. Anyway, I'll watch Eleanor and see what she comes up with. So I'm going to get to it, casting on a pair of vanilla socks for my littlest niece. I got my spot back from Piper. She stole it as soon as I got up to use the bathroom. So, but anyway, she decided to go to her bed instead. So here I am. But this is what I got done. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. Yeah, so 15 rows for the cuff and 2x2 rib. And then I had just started doing the knit rows. I watched 2 about 30-minute episodes of Cozy Books and Knits with Eleanor. And yeah, so that is that. The time is going super fast. It is just 3:30 right now. And I would like to start Return of the King before 7. And I still have some cleaning to do. So what I'm going to do, there's an episode of Table 10 that I still haven't watched. And it's like just around the 2-hour mark. I'm going to finish listening to that episode of Crime Weekly. There's about an hour left in that, but I'm going to skip through the ads. And I'll do the upstairs bathroom and the front entry and make my way to the living room. So then what I'm going to do is I will watch Table 10 for an hour while knitting, and then I will leave it on while I clean the living room. So I'm cheating a little bit that way, but you know. I really don't want to listen to any more true crime podcast after this episode that I'm listening to because it's BTK and it's awful. So I only have so much bandwidth for so much true crime. And I was listening to true crime all day yesterday. Well, when I was cleaning. But anyway, I have that nice balance between the true crime and the knitting, the knitting podcasts. Anyway, okay, so I better get cracking. I'm gonna go clean. I accomplished a lot from that cleaning sprint, actually. I'm pretty surprised at how much I could accomplish in an hour if I put my mind to it. Upstairs bathroom is cleaned except for the bathtub because there's a water main break and they told us to use water conservatively today. I haven't had word that it was fixed. So anyway, other than the bathtub, the upstairs bathroom is clean. The living room, I cleaned the windows, tidied everything, took the stuff off the stairs, my shame. Wiped down the coffee table, put some of the Christmas stuff on the coffee table, and yeah. So, cleaned pretty much all the front entry. It just needs to be vacuumed. That's all. And I might leave that for tomorrow. So, because it's getting dark and you know what happens when it gets dark. Jen starts to hibernate. So these are what I have left to cast on, but not tonight. Since table 10 is 2 hours long, I might do 2 cast-ons during that time. I'm going to get up and move around after an hour, and I'll grab a different project to work on. But the next one is going to be socks for my oldest niece. So I'm going to grab the yarn for those. Is it behind me like I had planned? No, it's not. It's over here. Oh, and my yarn room just got messier because there was stuff on the stairs that had to come up here. So I'm going to use opal yarn. This has been in my stash for a while, but not as long as some of the other stuff. I think I'm going to do simple skip socks. And yeah, I'm going to pick myself out a project bag. And the needles are downstairs, and I will go and get to it. See? Stairwell is cleaned up. They just need to be vacuumed. I really hate this little carpet, so I think a project for the winter is to rip these up and put those like rectangles of carpet that you can get on Amazon on the top because the dog needs something to grip, and paint the walls and paint the railing. And then I won't hate this part of my house as much. Anyway, I gotta feed the animals. All right, so animals are fed. My soup is heating up. I'm just about to turn on table 10. And the project bag that I've picked is this Pirate Cat one. I think, yeah, Art by Anna made this one. Also a Nova Scotia maker. So yeah, my niece likes cats, so I thought this was appropriate. And I had another pair of Hiya-Hiyas. How about that? So I'm going to use those ones. And yeah, I'm going to eat first before I cast on. Like I said, it's a 2-hour long episode, so I can eat and then cast this on. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to cast on another thing today. I think 3 and 3 is pretty good. 3 yesterday, 3 today. And I want to get to the other sock and start working on that. So I might start working on that before that episode is even over, because I'm starting to get a little worried because it is just about 5 o'clock. I did want to start watching Return of the King at around 6. That's not going to happen. So I'll start watching it at 7. Although good news, I totally forgot that I have a can of Island Folk Rebel Rosé in the fridge from like last week or something. So that's very exciting for me. So a little treat for Jen tonight. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get started on supper and then knitting. right, it is now, I think it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock now. So this is how much I got done, and this is how much I'm going to do for this evening, because I really would like to get to that other pair of socks and really try to finish them tonight. So yeah, I might change my mind about which pattern I use for this one. I was going to use Simple Skip, but I'm like, I don't know if I feel like, I think I just did that one. Yeah, I did for one of the kids' socks. So I might switch things up and do a different pattern. I'll look at some of the opal yarns on Ravelry, or the opal projects on Ravelry, and figure that out. So this concludes my little cast on party for this weekend. I got 6 projects cast on, so I am up and running with my gift knitting. I'm so glad that I got a couple of things done already, but so I still have the 3. I think there's 3 left to cast on. There's my brother's, my dad's, littlest nieces, and then there's something for my mom too that I have to figure out the pattern for, and yarn, and then cast that on too. So yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know if I've like bit off more than I can chew or not, but I do a lot of knitting, so wish me luck. So thank you if you hung in here for this long. Everywhere you can find me will be linked down below. I am the Stashed Down Diaries on Instagram, and I am Bucephala on Ravelry, and those are basically the 2 other places that you can find me. So I hope if you are going to start your gift knitting, you are knitting things that you enjoy and the people that you gift for are highly knit worthy. So until next time, take care.